as you usually do, and it goes unrecognized sometimes, getting up every bright and early every Saturday morning and volunteering when there's a need and stepping in. Angel, thank you very much. It's not easy. I know for me at times when Miss Bean asks me to do it, it's a heavy weight because I don't want to say anything wrong or do anything wrong that would cause anyone to sidestep. So thank you very much for stepping up and doing this. Wins for this week: solo presentation after solo presentation after solo presentation, and 0 closes. But you know what? That's not true, because every time you present and you get an appointment and you send them the proposal in hard copy and you book another appointment with them, you've made many closes along the way. And that was my lesson this week, because I was beating me up. I'm like, okay, Queen, what's going on with you? Right? And then I had to say, wait a minute, stop. If you truly listen to Grant Cardone, closing is not just signing the deal. It's every time you find out what they require and you go back and you reset and you meet them at that need to walk them to that close. So that was my reflection this week. I'm excited because my calendar for next week is already booked out with proposals. Not only is it booked out with proposals, Sarah and I are going to Puerto Rico. Ay, baila, baila. And so it's paid for by Build and booked through Aventi. So again, we have so much in this business. There's, if you sneeze, you can make money.
Let me get sick more often. You make me want to get sick more often. Coughing and sneezing, right? Sneeze, you're going to make money here. And I love that. Dr. Arlene is the product of the product for sure. Everything that she does is, using everything on our platform and, maximizing that. So I love that. Thank you for sharing. And you had so many wins. I mean, the wins is the savings you just got in Aventi that you just shared. And I love that you're sharing the wins is that you had booked appointments, right? The win is that your calendar is full. Because I will tell you, some people don't have a full calendar at all. They don't even have a calendar. So you're already winning with a booked calendar. You're already winning, even getting on these calls for the proposals, right? As a mentor, you're winning that you didn't get hung up on and you got to finish the proposal. So there's so many wins within that, and you're still winning because the results aren't out yet. They haven't made a decision. Sometimes it's not the right timing, or they had to go get 5 other proposals before they decided that, oh, Dr. Arlene was right in the beginning. So it's still to be continued. So I'm excited to hear the stories of people who circle back with you and decided to sign. So, and they teach in GCU that it's never the first touch anyways. There's multiple touches to find out. And like you said, you found out reasons why, and and being able to now have a solution for those reasons is getting you nearer and nearer to like 100% closure. So I think you're gonna go after that record, right? 20 20 something, 20 something. I know you can do it.
Running up on, rolling up on it.
Records are there to be beat, right? All right. Thank you so much for that energy and starting us out on the right foot, Dr. Arlene, always. We have Sabrina next.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Angel, for this opportunity to speak this morning. I'm just really in a spirit of gratitude. This week has been a spirit of gratitude. Uh, so much has happened, from health challenges to events. Start off with event. We had our Houston 3C event. It was phenomenal. Each and every event we have had every month for the last, 6 months we've been doing this now, Angel, almost. It has been phenomenal. We had people flying in from all over the US. We had an entirely different group of invitees. So we're seeing our works just manifesting, just the people that we're reaching, that we're talking to. Um, then at the end, my husband decided he wanted to have a health challenge on us. So we were dealing with that. And because we're busy, right? We're all busy. And then we had the opportunity to go to the Beans for the for Kevin Ross. You're talking about just being in the presence of greatness, not just Kevin Ross, but the Beans, just to see everybody flow, everybody just have a conversation about our future. Um, and even when we left there, just talking to people, now that we're talking to people about, you know, these routers and what our future looks like, is so much easier because we have so much to offer. We don't have one thing to offer anybody. We have anything that you need, we got it. Right? And with that being in mind, there is nothing that you don't have access to talk about, right? So opportunities are there. Just sending out white papers, just sending people stuff. They're like, "You guys are doing this now?" Yeah, just take your time. Don't take too much time because you're gonna miss out. But it's just been phenomenal. And I want to thank the Houston team for showing up and showing out. I want to thank all of those that came in from different parts of the country. We appreciate you. You have no idea for the support that you give us. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. And and I love what you shared because, and we'll dive into that more. I'm not going to talk about the event with Mr. Ross yet. We will talk about that in a little bit. But I do want to talk about the Houston event, and just having those events in your markets is huge for growing, right? And we're so excited that we had so many people coming in and helping out. Definitely want to give a shout out because it takes a village, right? To really make an event happen. It's not one person, it's everyone. And fires after fires, those of you who put out some fires, you know who you are. Freddy's of the world. We got A players over here with some hidden talents we didn't know about that came out. And wanted to give a shout out to Freddie, as he was helping us put out some fires. And Kathy in the front, Sabrina, I mean, you name it, everyone was there, everyone was helping Gage, Sabrina, Eddie, as always, so and that's it, everyone always coming together and helping with anything and everything. And that's what teamwork and this DreamWork, this community is what it's all about, right? There's so many companies, there's so many things out there that anybody can do. I've been in multiple companies, and hands down, multiple companies and multiple other teams in the same company, right? Let's just say that. And, Mr. Bean and Mrs. Bean's team always, hands down, had the best community, had the best leadership, and, I'm going to say have the best people in it. No, I'm a little biased, right? Just kidding. But I love you all because you all make it better for all of us. You all keep us inspired. And as Sabrina says, we fall, right? There's things that happen, family challenges, health challenges. But when we see all of you guys all inspire us to keep moving forward and keep going. So thank you for sharing your story, Sabrina. All right, we got Miss Carla Wynn, always the first one on the calls. Appreciate you always jumping on.
Good morning, Miss Angel. I want to pay homage to the Beans for creating the platform, to you for jumping in and hosting. And so this week was a week of growth for me. I had a tough conversation with an affiliate on Tuesday, and it was very challenging because I had to learn the lesson of being detached and letting go and letting the person know that I'm not, dealing with them at the same level anymore. And because, we have been talking for quite some time and wasn't able to get them to move forward based on a number of factors, including stuff that's going on in their own lives. And the assignment that I gave that person was to listen to and to watch and give me a book report on Mr. Pacheco's talk last week. And they gave me they did the assignment. However, they just were stuck. And I'm like, I've got to move. I can't be stuck with you. So that was a really, hard conversation to have. And then coaching with my sponsor, my mentor, Mrs. Laura Johnson, in terms of the guidance that she gave me for that. So that was a very powerful conversation, and also progress in other areas of my life that are, unrelated to business. And so this was just an opportunity for growth this week. So thank you so much for allowing me to share. And I hope I was under 60 seconds.
Yes, you did great, right? I love that. This is the one thing that I love about Mrs. Laura and her team, right? They are on the book when it comes to making sure to follow directions, and staying in that 60 seconds, and, making sure all their T's are crossed and I's are dotted all the time, and it makes everything really great and efficient for their leaders, right? So congratulations, Carla. There's so many wins in what you have just shared with me. People don't look at it. I'm a very green and technical person, so I look at everything, right? You guys all know. And all those wins in there. First of all, the win that I see in what you just shared is that you just said that person, they were not in a time in their life that they were ready. And so what you did was, instead of pushing them, you asked them a question to educate them and make them now reflect, right? So that they can come into their own conclusion. That's a win, because most people would try to sell them, and you didn't, right? You turn it around to have them reflect. And on top of that, you reflected yourself and you said, I'm not waiting on this person. I got things to do, right? I have my goals to reach. You have your goals, but you can reach your goals at the time that you want to reach. My goals have a date and a deadline, and I need to get to them now for my family and my children. And I love that, because that's what I have to say to myself every day too, right? Everybody's goals is different, but I have a date, I have a time. I got to get to my goals for my family and for my legacy, right? And you love everybody for where they are, like Mr. Bean says, but you got to run with those who are willing to run with you. Because it's a lot faster to get there running together. I'm telling you that, right? Instead of having someone that's walking and you're like, oh my God, I got to get back there and pull them back. No, right? So I love that. And you did another win, which is when you're feeling, you were transparent, honest in the way that you felt. And instead of sitting there on your own, you picked up the phone and you called Miss Laura Johnson. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get in touch with your senior business partners so that they might be able to, number one, empower you, right? Because this journey is hard alone. So you do, in these cases of things like that, you want to reach out to your senior business partner, because 9 out of 10 times they've been where you're at, if they're not already currently where you're at, right? So they are going to give you that empowerment, that guidance to get you where you need to go together, right? We need community. And so when you have those toughest times, I'm telling you, I'm one of those people that like to run and hide when I have issues. And it took me a while for me to be able to open up and call Mr. and Mrs. Bean and, and say, this is what's going on in my life. I need help. It's hard to say I need help, right? Because we've been taught. I don't know about you, but my parents are like, you gotta do it on your own, right? Toughen up. I mean, that's my parents, right? Toughen up, tough up, And so that's what I built. Toughen up. I gotta take care of my problems. I can't, but see, I could never get myself out of my level either with that sense. Because I'm stuck in my own problems and I'm stuck in my own thermostat. So I never had a GPS to get me out because I just didn't share. Right. And so that's huge. So thank you for sharing because that's a huge reflection. Miss Carla. Dale, what do you have for us today?
Hey, great morning, everybody. First of all, I understand Miss Sabrina about health challenges. I mean, but the world don't slow down. And if you're not plugged in, it's just going to go right by you. So you got to stay plugged in. And so that's what I love about this team. Miss Sabrina talks about the event this week and then the event at Mr. Bean's house, but it was everybody pulling together to get all of this going because I wouldn't have been able to share that Zeta event at Mr. Bean's house without the help of Miss Angel, Miss Bean, Miss Sabrina, and everybody else that was there. So, man, I really appreciate that from the team because that was such a powerful event. And for me, it was about connecting and how Mr. and Mrs. Bean always shows us how to connect to people and not just, try to sell to people, connect with them, and you can tell when they sat down, everybody done connected already. All right. And that's just because Mr. and Mrs. Bean, they know how to do this. They understand that part of it. And a lot of people don't. They just think somebody shows up for an event and then they're gone. But you have to connect to them. And then how Kevin Ross connected with his audience by telling us his story and his why he's doing Zeta, because that was way more important to me than the actual Zeta box. Okay, his last mile story and the why really tells you about a human being, and he's connecting with us when he's telling us this, and he made it a point at the very beginning to talk 5 minutes about his story. It wasn't about the box, the technical stuff, and blah blah. It was about his story and why he was doing it and his journey, which is important to his why. So for me, connecting, man, was the theme of the week. And fighting through whatever comes your way as far as health, man. I mean, because I think this last 2 weeks everybody got sick, man. I'm not sure, but you can tell I'm still stuffed up. You know what I mean? So anyway, I appreciate everybody on this team for allowing me, man, to just be part of that journey and just to be able to have access to Zeta that night, sitting over here in Louisiana, because I literally couldn't go. And I wanted to be there, but I couldn't go, man, because of this. Whoa, and I didn't want to get anybody sick. But anyway, man, thank y'all, team. I appreciate y'all, man, and I learned something from y'all every single day. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Dale. And we appreciate you as well. You're one of the OGs here, right? You've been through it all with us. And we appreciate you. We appreciate your energy and we appreciate all that you do as well when you show up, for us as well. So you've done trainings, you've done presentations, one of those servant leaders as well, who's always, on top of everything. So, the only thing that can keep you from anything is just being sick. Right. But there's nothing we can do with the health challenges, but you are still there anyways. But we'll go ahead and we're gonna talk to Victor. After Victor, what I'm gonna do a little bit too is I'm gonna have all the people that were at the event with Mr. Ross, and we're gonna do a little question and answer with that. So if you have anything that's pertaining to to the event at Mr. Ross, let's hold that for the questions and answer time for that. But just share the wins right now that you have in your business for this week. Victor, go ahead.
Hey everybody, thank you for the platform, guys. Glad to be here. It's a beautiful morning and lot to celebrate. I just wanted to share one win. Hans pretty much closed a cash deal for me yesterday. The people were so educated. I'm so glad that he was the one to present because, I mean, if I had to do it by myself, I probably would have been in trouble. But it was definitely a learning process. So awesome deal. That is my third deal finally. So now I'm moving on to the five. I do have some things in the pipeline. A little premature, but I think it's pretty much going to go through. But anyway, because I'm thinking positive, you know what I mean? I also have two business partners, possibly one coming in today, and another one probably tomorrow or sometime in the near future. I'm doing a couple of lifelines with Mr. Bean, which means now that I have my four and actually five. So let me tell you, it's been a long time coming. So, but you know what? It's like I make it a point to meet new people every single day, and I'm just going through the numbers. I could care less about no's. Guys, don't count. Don't count the no's and celebrate them. And so when you get a yes, you can embrace it and really bring your people along. My latest guy who came in, Nigel, I don't think he's on the line, but he got three bills within 2 days. The guy's amazing. So he came by yesterday morning and we were chatting it up, going about, talking about different techniques that I use for roofers. And I was like, well, that's how I got you, right? He was like, yeah, that's how you got me. So, so I told him, if I see a roofing truck, I roll up on him at the light, like, hey, blow the horn. I'm like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Hey, how long you been in business? And then I hit him with, have you considered partnering with a solar company? You know what? Say, you know what? I'm glad you asked me that. So that's how I've been getting a lot of new seeds to plant. And life is good. And I've got my baby here with me. So I'm on cloud nine. And it's all for her. Ain't got nothing to do with my baby. Thank you, guys.
I love that. See, your why is right there. You just can't fail when your why is right there, right?
It's impossible to fail. It's totally impossible
That's
to fail.
impossible. So, and that's why we say keep your why always in front of you. And the no's will mean nothing, right? It's just okay. You're not, it's not for me, the no's just mean not right now. That's my interpretations of no's. So, as children, that's their interpretation as no, because they'll come right back in 5 minutes and say, hey, mom, like, didn't I just tell you no 5 minutes ago? Like, yeah, but this is a new time. So I thought your mood has changed, right? Your mood has changed, maybe your mind has changed, right? And so I love that now, before, learning all of this stuff, I used to be like, and now I actually like it. I smile in the back, but I'm like, nobody. Right. But I'm smiling in the back because I'm like, he's gonna get somewhere with that, right? And so I celebrate that, right? I celebrate how they are fearless. And that's what we need more of celebration for the fearless, the courageous, even that one. You keep on going, Victor, no matter what, time after time, no after no. And it's only inevitable that you just hit the refer for, pay no more. And not only that, but, on your way to becoming a mentor, it's on your timing, and to me, you just keep on doing the work and, and you'll receive the blessings. It's not when you harvest, it's just so until it comes. So I love that. Right?
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you, Angel, and just your energy is unmatched. And no, it really is, Angel. You totally inspire me all the time. I just appreciate you for always lifting us up, never know what some of us are going through and what challenges we met in our personal life. And it's just nice to have someone that, is like always ready to rebound and ready to pass the ball so we can keep playing. I appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate it too. Thank you, my friend. I'm blushing over here, guys. All right. So let's go with Miss Laura Johnson because she wasn't there at the event. Let her share that. But I know JJ and Freddie, you were at the event, so I want to keep you on for speaking a little bit more on the event as well. So Miss Laura Johnson, ladies first, let's go. What do you have for
Thank
us?
you for allowing me to share, Miss Angel, and always grateful for the platform that the Beans have made, and grateful for you as well. So my win this week is the recognition of my evolution. Evolution is a slow process. It's not revolution, which is fast and drastic and dramatic. It's something that is consistent, persistent, and ever ongoing. And so for me this week, I've been evolving because we're told that it's not always about chasing the increase in finances, but it's about the person that we are becoming to attract the finances that we desire. And so because of the actions that we are required to take, sometimes under the challenges, despite of the challenges, when you embrace the actions and do what's required, it has an impact on you. It changes you. It molds you into someone different. And so really that's my reflection. I want to stay within the 60 seconds because it's important that we are obedient to the instructions that we're given. That's also a challenge. I'd love to talk forever. However, we have to do the things that we're required to do because it has a direct impact on us, who we are and who we're becoming. So thank you so much for allowing me to share.
Well, thank you, Miss Laura Johnson. And to top that off for our reflections for the morning, that was a great last one, right? Because that's a huge reflection. It's easy to, there's things that are easy to do, and following directions is the hardest, right? And you do it timelessly. You and Dr. Arlene, I mean, I can listen to you ladies talk forever. Inspiring words, and just lifting me up with everything that you said. And not only, I think you guys catch the bean magic in your words as well, because I'm like, ooh, look at what she just said, right? Persistent and it's like I can see throughout the years like just how each and every single one of us is starting to grow into our talents. And it's just amazing, right? To see the journey in growing into the talents, like presenters and trainers and everyone out there. And I'm just in awe of everyone that's in your growth. Like you said, evolution. I love that. Evolution, because it takes time, and it takes time to evolve. And evolving, like, for instance, right, the caterpillar that becomes a butterfly is on its own time, right? Evolution is on its own time, not on the time of what we want it to be, not on the time that is expected, but it's on its own time. And each one of us is evolving in our own time. We just got to just keep on with the faith, in us, really, that we're going to become, that we're going to evolve into our talents, right? So thank you, Ms. Laura Johnson, for that great note on the reflections. And now we're going to take a turn because, some of you already delved into it. We had an awesome event, right? It was a mind-blowing event on Wednesday. So congratulations to all who were qualified to get into this event. When I was sitting there, I was like, man, I feel like Mark Zuckerberg in the dormitories, right? Or Microsoft in the garage, right? Like this is where it starts, right? And so, congratulate yourselves on taking that action, because a lot of times people sit to be honest, I have sat on a lot of things. I've sat on Bitcoin for sure. I didn't even dare to attempt on Bitcoin, and that was sad, right? Very sad. But you guys took action right away, and and you were able to be in the living room with the innovator, the creator, the founder himself. And I want to, go ahead and call, call whoever was here. Well, JJ and Freddie first, right? And I want to ask you, a couple questions about, about this event. So, Mr. Meadows, you can go ahead and share any wins you have, but then I want to ask you some questions on this event as well.
Thank you, Angel. Man, I was just like ready to share my win, ready to go, ready to go. So obviously, the event was off the chain this week. Fought through the going to Lubbock and getting diverted and all that, but you still, violent opposition to get there, but got there, man, and just being in the living room with the Beans. After you all left, the Houston team, always great hanging out with y'all. My second time now. But after you guys left, here I am with the Beans eating catfish in the living room, man. That's like, it's leadership and mentorship 101. It doesn't get much better than that when you have that time, right, to get the information and just to be people and share and hang out with Creed the dog and their kids and all of that. But Mr. Ross, seeing that firsthand, hearing from, I went on faith to buy my box and take that leap, right? But I loved your analogy of sitting in the garage with Zuckerberg and all that. Yeah, it felt like that, man, that we are at the beginning of something great and inspiring and awesome. His vision for these decentralized network, like I know enough to be dangerous now, right? I can talk some cryptonomics and get my coins and talking with the young people. It's funny because throughout the rest of the week, just mentioning it to anyone under 30, their eyebrows raised at cryptocurrency and, uninterrupted internet and decentralized internet. So I know enough to be dangerous, but man, you guys I hate that I missed the Tuesday night event. But it was great. I can't say enough. Going into the event, I picked up a book, Mr. Les Brown. What better way to go into Houston than with him? And as I'm looking at the book, I look at the front, and my wife had given this to me. I signed up for Bill on my 60th birthday. So September 23rd, 2024, I turned 60. This book was dated September 23rd, 1992. That gives you a little idea how long I've been chasing my dreams. But it was so inspiring. And then I discovered in the back, there's a workbook where you can actually write down some things and challenge your mind. So all in all, just an awesome week. Fired up this morning. Thank you for the time.
All right. Thank you. Well, did you have any wins to share? You said you wanted to share some wins. What wins do you have?
Going to Houston was my win, just getting there, but also just plowing through my consultations and trying to hit that 90 in 90 days and getting them rescheduled. Everybody just keeps pushing it out and, let me get the utility bill and all that stuff. So just love that activity. So just doing it.
So you said you have a little bit of crypto knowledge not to be dangerous, right? So I want to ask you a question. Why should people who like passive crypto platforms and crypto currency take a serious look at Zeta then?
So say the question again, Angel.
So why should people who like passive crypto platforms take a serious look at Zeta?
Well, that's a very interesting question. I don't know that I have a specific answer to you on that. I just know the term, right? Cryptonomics and cryptocurrency. So I'm a default on that one.
Well, just in your experience, why if you were to speak to somebody who's in the crypto space, what?
Yeah.
What
Well,
excited
I
you
had the
about it?
opportunity to get some Bitcoins back in the day, right? My barber talked to me about Bitcoins. I was like, oh no, I don't know. That doesn't what? It's not money. But so I was all skeptical and passed on that. But seeing them now, 10 years down the road, maybe that was something I should have done. And so I think I could speak to missing that opportunity and then now being able to take advantage of the same type of opportunity might be to their advantage as well.
Awesome. See, that was the answer, my friend. Because remember, facts tell, stories sell. And so that answer right there is what people look for. It's not the crypto this and crypto that or XRP or, compared to Bitcoin. It's the fact that I lost out in Bitcoin and I'm not going to lose out
I'm
on
not
this.
going to do it again. Yes, ma'am.
Because when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, I lost out on Bitcoin. What you got? What do you have? Right? Let me take a look. Let me hear. And that's the thing that, that is going to make it because I'm telling you right now, I mean, since you guys are all here, I mean, we all missed the Bitcoin movement, right? Because we'd be on another different platform, right? But we all missed it. I stayed away from it because I believed in in the people that were around me saying that it was a scam. So I didn't look at it for the longest. I didn't look for Forex for the longest. And the funny thing is that life came around and, and came back to me in Forex, right? And on something that I thought was a scam. So it's, it's, it's educating people and in it because I never spoke to an educated person really. I always just, heard heard things and our flight, right? We always want to save ourselves from a fear from going into the unknown, and so I just never even took a step towards it. And the funny thing is when I did, I found out I had a talent for it, which was crazy. A talent for a scam. Well, that I thought was a scam, right? Because I just didn't take the time to educate myself. So I know what it's like to miss out on a lot of things because of our own limited beliefs, but not just that, but our own internal alarm systems. That's what you got to break through, those internal alarm systems. All right, Mr. Freddie Ross, what do you have for us, sir?
Morning, good morning. Thanks for the platform, Angel. I want to first start off by saying thank you to Mr. and Miss Bean, to you, Angel, and to Sabrina and Eddie. Y'all done an outstanding job, both on Tuesday night and Wednesday. I mean, for a person to walk into that room on Tuesday night, it just greatness. It just feels like you're getting ready to see something really good. And so I know we don't thank you enough for all that you do, but from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for doing what you do and making everything first class. Because I'm telling you, both of those events, if people go to these events and see what's going on, they hear the information is shared, it's no way that you can leave and be the same. I mean, it's just sets you on fire to be able to, as far as get all of this knowledge and information that's coming our way. And I mean, the main thing is that you got to stay plugged in. You got to stay close to the fire. You got to keep educating yourself with all of the things that are changing because we're moving so fast with technology that where it's hard to keep up with everything. So, I mean, for a person that really interested in what we're doing, they got to come to the meetings. They got to get on these Zooms to be able to hear for themselves what is actually going on. Mr. Kevin Ross, I mean, that information that he put out as far as on Wednesday was mind blowing. I've been around internet ever since 1990, selling it in some type of way. But now to be able to get paid for selling it and using it, I'm like, oh boy, let's go. Because I'm telling you, this that he has going is going to bless a lot of people. A lot of people, I mean, it's over your head technology that where it's hard to understand because this crypto thing, like Mr. Metals, I don't even know what they're talking about. But I would sell it and I would be able to enjoy it by using the product.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. So why do you think that this is a perfect time for Zeta then?
Because I feel it's just like the cell phone industry. I had the chance to get in the cell phone industry when it first started, and I couldn't believe it. I said, there's no way that you're going to be able to walk around with a cell phone without a cord connected to it. So I passed on it. But with this right here, the internet, I've seen it evolve over the years, and it's just keep getting better and better. I'm not going to miss out on this one.
Yes, right. I'm right there with you, Mr. Ross. Man, I remember my dad coming out of the car with this big old thing right next to his ear. And I'm like, oh man, I'm at the state, I'm in the age group where we still got whooping. So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna go around him when he's mad with that thing in his hand, but it's huge, right? And so I was like, wow, and now where has it come to? These tiny little phones now in our pockets and all kinds of stuff. So transformation is huge, and you're absolutely right. We, I mean, that, again and again, the leadership keeps on bringing us these products, these new innovative. I'm so super excited about. I mean, we're like not even in our first year, ladies and gentlemen. Can you imagine? Our launch date was August, so we actually still have until August to officially make it a new year, and we've got innovative products from people who are, this is not their first rodeo, right? And they're bringing it to the forefront, not only to become, just to become a market disruptor, and we get to be market disruptors. So it's exciting to go out there and share what can you imagine? I mean, the people that were sharing Bitcoin at that time when there were 0 coins out there compared to now, what we have, that they already felt a loss, and they still hit over 100K with no one knowing what tokenization was back then, right? And all the scams and all of the stuff, and they still push through. So, I'm super excited. You're right. That living room, I mean, I still have that imagination. So imagine like 5 years from now, we're still going to remember this living room, right? Where it all started for us, right? For us. So thank you for sharing, Mr. Freddie Ross.
So,
All right, Miss Kathy
like I
Jewell.
said from the start, though, I want to thank you and Mr. and Mrs. Bean, Sabrina, Angel. Y'all need a pat on the back for the experience that's for us y'all gave us on Tuesday and Wednesday. I've been around network marketing for a long time, and I'm telling you, this is first class what y'all are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you too for putting out some flyers for us. Kathy, what do you
Good
have for us?
morning.
First,
Good
thank you
morning.
first of all for serving, right? You're always serving, you're always at every event, and you're always, what do you need? What do you need me to do? And so thank you for being a servant leader.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And like everyone else, I want to thank Mr. and Mrs. Bean for this platform, for all of us to come together and share and connect and do all what we do. And to my senior partners, Eddie and Sabrina, and you, Angel, for being the prime examples of a true entrepreneur, just constantly learning. But to first of all, to the Tuesday night session was amazing. As usual, everyone says you're going through the numbers, inviting people, they don't show up, the weather, it seems like people find all kind of excuses not to show up. But anyway, it was amazing because I was able to connect with other individuals that, will be meaningful relationships along the way and build, and just to see the word collaboration at its best through Mr. Bean. I understand even the more
what he means by collaboration. That is his ultimate goal, is to collaborate with everyone, to for every family to make $5,000 at least a month, being connected. But on Wednesday, it was truly a pleasure to be in the presence of, as someone said, greatness. Mr. Ross was totally amazing, down to earth. Someone that didn't have to do what he did, but it was so amazing to capture the heart of an individual that really has a heart for people. His first thing is to make sure that we all succeed. That's his ultimate goal. Like someone said that he told the stories. I think it was Dale shared how he started out. He wanted us to know that he hasn't always been successful. He's had to fall. Had to hit his face a couple of times, but it was just great. I'm excited about being on the cutting edge. I've never actually been on the cutting edge like everybody else says. We all have been a part of something, whatever it was, Amway, OG, whatever. We've been a part of something, but this is literally the cutting edge, to where you are benefiting from being the first to participate. And that's what I'm excited about, because like many of us on this platform, mature in age. And so therefore needing to make sure that I solidify my financial future. And so I see that with Build and with my business partners, with Mr. and Mrs. Bean, and having the platform. And Miss Laura, thank you for expounding on evaluation, being evolving. And I think that's what we all are, evolving every day. It's not that you're not doing the work, you're putting the work in, but going through the numbers, have to go through the numbers in order to get to that success that God has for us. So that's my take on this week and on being there on Wednesday. It was such a blessing. And thank you, Sabrina, for introducing me. And thank you, Mr. Bean, for allowing me to be in your home and such a private area. I really appreciate that. It meant a lot.
Right. Thank you, Kathy. And I love what you just said. For those here, you can actually go back to the video. I believe Mr. Bean has live streamed it in our groups, and check out the video with the CEO. But like as you shared, just that was it for me. When you get to sit in there and you get to understand the reasoning behind what he's doing right now, right? And like you shared, Kathy, he started, he was homeless. He no, he didn't he was rock bottom, right? At one point. And there's a lot of rock bottom stories. But what the story that I love the most about what he shared is that he hit rock bottom. Lots of people hit rock bottom and then they climb up, right? Rags to riches stories. But what I love was his riches to impact story. And for some of those people who were able to listen to that, oh my gosh. He said, honestly, everyone, I was at my highest peak. My company was worth $500 million. On paper, I had I had so much money. My head, my ego was on cloud 9. And then it was stripped away from me because of I almost died. Right? And when he almost died, he asked himself, what impact have I left in the world? And all he could see was wins monetarily, but he had no impact. And that's when he decided that right now, money is not what he's after, it's impact. It's helping the world, it's creating impact, it's creating 2/3 of children do not have internet. And that's what he wants to help them do. right? They're being left behind, and he doesn't want the children to be left behind. And so that was the story that hit my heart, because I was like, he was transparent with himself and saying that he had all this money, and his lifestyle and his what do you call it, his ego took over at that point when he had all that money. And then it took a life and death thing to change his outlook on life and change the whole trajectory of what he's doing now. And so I love that. That hit home for me. Because now I know that what he's doing here is not just about money. And so that just made it even more powerful for me. So Sabrina, I know you had your hand up, and I saved you the best for last. So I love for you to share.
Oh,
what
thank you, Angel.
what impact did it have for you?
The impact of just being in a room. So I don't know if you guys know mine and Eddie's story. There was something that was said to us last year by our pastor. And then Angel connected us to Mr. Bean. And it was like we started seeing everything that our pastor has said come to fruition. But for us to be at the beginning of this in the room with the founder and to hear his heart, to hear how many people have been in a room with a person that made $500 million. I've never been in a room with someone that's made that much money, right? To have access to what it is you think about as far as where you want your life to be. Not that kind of money, but I'm just talking about success, right? Whatever success looks like. But to be able to have that type of access to ask any question you want to know about their personal life, to talk with their children, to see how sweet their spouse is, to the point where they built this together. She does the marketing, he does the techie. Can't get no better than that. It's like, oh, Eddie, right? So it's just seeing that and this is where I'm going to take this right now, seeing where God has you and seeing what he puts before you and seeing that it's actual doable to get there. It's just phenomenal. And we're grateful. I'm going back to the grateful part. We're grateful to even be in that room, because we almost didn't even make it in the room because of what happened the night before, and still ended up having to go to the emergency room as soon as we left there. So this thing is, if you don't catch it, just get in. It don't even matter if you understand, just roll with it. Just roll with it. It's just that important to get yourself out the way. Get yourself out the way, because this thing is blowing up whether you decide to move or not. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you. Wow, that's some fire on that gas. You put some gas on that fire. And look who's about to put some more gas on. Our very own Mr. Earl Beckett. I love to hear from you, sir. And first of all, it was great seeing you, finally meeting you face to face in person after all these years. Great seeing you.
Yes, it was a pleasure and an honor from the event, the Mixer networking. That was phenomenal. We took lots of pictures for our markets. So appreciate all the work that went in, and yeah, it looked like what business people are used to, and that's the main thing. Mr. Bean always talks about not want to be a network marketer or even a direct seller from the traditional standpoint. So that's what the room looked like, and then to come to the event to have that invitation. I mean, you can purchase products before they come out, you know, the Apple products, et cetera, but you don't get that environment. You don't get the environment with the CEO or the architect behind the new innovation. And to have that, it's humbling, it's grateful. And my next statements everybody will kind of bear witness, which is, Mr. Bean says, don't say you're grateful or show you're thankful. I mean, say it, show it. And I know that I cannot be the same person and achieve what was spoken. Those that were there, the comments, Mr. Dale Boudreaux, you know, probably looking at the grout area while he was texting questions in because of him not feeling well. And those that were not there, guys, I missed meetings and situations before. So I beat myself up because of it, and you guys understand that. But being there was phenomenal. And so what's the takeaway? I had to really step back and say, if it's a global opportunity, which it is it on a scale of 1 to 100 compared to Bitcoin? Bitcoin would probably be a 30 or 40. But this, because of the different verticals that come out of the different products, the different markets that it reaches, with his wife having the educational piece that she's been developing that didn't really go into detail about, and then her doing the marketing, the last mile, the 2/3 young people. I mean, if you're in marketing and you begin to fan out what that means as far as the end users, our sales, every network marketing company, every person that's really connected to a crypto project, you know, that may have lost money because of not owning the AWS, as it were, or the cloud. To say that it's anything shy of $1 trillion, I would be, I probably would be understating that. And if you break up the different areas just in the market potential, you know, I'll probably say 2 to 3 trillion. You know, we're talking about global. We're talking about 7G. We're talking about decentralization, supercomputer hub in a community or in a place in Africa. You're talking about wealth. 85% of the whatever comes from the native coin being left not pilferage and taken out of the market like we've seen Africa being left so much with, you know, cobalt and all that leaves, but the country remains poor. When you have that, it's got to be in the trillion. So that means I can't be 100,000 monthly heir. I can't even think like $1 million monthly. You know, the past that past leaders that we know about in other markets, you know, they hit the 4-minute mile. You know, the 1.2 million, 2 million a month, and you guys know if you've been around who I'm talking about. You mentioned OG, not the OG like from but the OG. So, you know, it's time for Roger Bannisters. And I'm working out. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm bald. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna grow some hair.
It's bold, bro. Bold, not bald. Bold.
It's bold. I love that. Let's
I
go.
can use that. So not going to belabor it. But guys, yeah, we're right place, right time. But I have to become that person, and it's got to be, to me, it's breaking the 4-minute mile, and whatever has been achieved monthly, then you know, let's microcosm that to the point that our daily goal, our daily focus, let's break the $1.5 million a day, which means Jahugic, massive changing. And we've got the system to do it. We got the foundation to do it. We got the leaders to do it. We got the community to do it, Miss Angel Trent, and the doctor that hadn't seen or heard. I know she's there, and Miss Laura Johnson, and what you guys do every week. And I didn't get the lay of the land in terms of Mrs. Weeks and her husband as far as the illness, but my thoughts, prayers, definitely appreciate the hospitality and everything you guys do. Houston, you rock. The Foresight team, let's get it. Let's go. Let's crank. Let's dominate the planet.
Yes, let's go. Come on, man. That's a standing ovation right there. And you're gonna love what I'm gonna share next, Mr. Earl Beckett, because Mr. Ross is actually considering coming to markets with the highest volume from Mr. Bean. And Mr. Bean has been, of course, and works and talks with him. So he's coming to the markets with the highest volume of Zeta boxes. And if it's in Mr. Bean's market, you're gonna get 2 market disruptors coming into your town, because Mr. Bean is gonna come and do a presentation collaboration for you as well. So come on, ladies and gentlemen, you want these market disruptors, right? You're going around, you're sharing all of this, and now you can have Mr. Kevin Ross and Mr. Sam Bean in your market. Yes, Miss Laura, there you go. I'm putting you to it. DMV, put the DMV on the market, right? I see Dr. Arlene, she's like, it's done. It's done, right? I mean, having, is I love what Mr. Earl Beckett said, right? Because think about having, the Apple CEO coming into your town, and they sell a lot of apples, right? Coming into your town just to talk to the people who bought. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't. And here it is. We have a gentleman who's worth 500 million coming in to living rooms and markets, because of the impact he wants to make. And he kept on saying the whole time is that he wants to reward those who are in the trenches, who are helping us push. He wants to reward us, right? And if you were on that, I want to share what I took out of it too, because when he says that, those who are in this market, in the crypto market, will understand, right? There are lots of coins out there. And what happens is there's whales, which means that they own a lot of the coins. So these whales, when they make a move, like they want to sell, or they want to sell and then buy, it causes what? The market disruptions, right? Where you see plummets, and they can literally withdraw and you'll see a big plummet, right? Because they hold so much volume. He says, no, we're not going to do that here for Zeta. He's going to make sure that no one has the power to disrupt our market. He has everything in place to make sure that not enough coins in the market will be where people outside of buying the product will be able to just go in there and buy a huge bunch of coins and dump it. And I love that, right? I love the fact that he knows, that he's putting together something that is going to, last long, because it's not just based on a evaluation. It's based on product. It's based on revenue. It's based on a real value, right? But then he's also making sure that we don't have people coming in to mess with the market either, our market either. And so he's got everything in place. We just need to do our part, which is, coming out there. And I mean, this is so generous, to be honest, for the $1,300 for this box is what is out there on the shelves already. That's the price of a similar product, right? It's a comparison. It's comparable. He's allowing us to do it 50% off. Not only that, but he's giving us 50,000 tokens, ladies and gentlemen. So even if, let's just say, it starts out at just a penny, right? A penny, that's already, you already, by being the first 500, that's already $500. As soon as the coin launches, you're already at $500. And we just paid like what? $7? I mean $700 or $800 with tax and shipping. And we already have a coin outside of the functioning of the great box, right? We got a $500 already starting out. And let's just say that it starts out at 10 cents when it gets to 10 cents. I don't know when that will be. Maybe it could be a day. Maybe it could be a year. But that's $5,000 for $800 you just put out. Where are my math people at? Right? Where are my math people? What if it gets to just $10? $10. I don't know when that will be. Could be 2 years, could be 3 years. That's $10, right? Oh, I mean a dollar. I skipped a dollar. $1 is 50,000. 50,000. Ladies and gentlemen, $1. That could be 2 years, 3 years. I don't think so that long. And what about just $10? I'm not even going to talk about 100, but just $10. That's $500,000. If you weren't on the Bitcoin train, you definitely don't want to lose out on 500,000. I couldn't sleep until I got my 50K coins. I'll tell you that. I couldn't sleep, right? Until I get that. I couldn't sleep after I got that. I literally woke up, and you can tell Mrs. Bean, you know how I am, right? I literally woke up at 7:45 the day after they launched it, 7:45 a.m. in the morning with the script in my mind. I woke up saying, okay, this is my script. And I was like, what? 7:45? Never ever in my life has that ever happened. But I woke up with the script and I sent it to Mrs. Bean too. I was like, Miss Bean, you don't know how crazy this is. I woke up with a script of what to say about this thing. And she's like, let me hear it, but it's crazy. 50K, ladies and men, don't be left behind on this at all. Because, you can go read the white pages, you can go read all the stuff, all the technical stuff. You don't have to learn it. Just send them that link. Everything is answered for them in that link. Mrs. Helen Ross has done an amazing job at giving them every single thing that they need in that link, for the technical people or whoever it is. But don't lose out on this, because the 500, you may be able to buy it at a discount. You may be able to, mine the coins as you purchase it. But this 50K, it's not lasting. 50K is super generous for any coin to start out handing that off. And so, don't lose out on that. At the end of the day, you're already getting the box for half of what's out there in the market already. So this 50,000 coins is definitely gonna pay back, in the future, right? Because this is the future vision. It's long-term vision, right? This is what the Apples, the Samsungs of the world, the Microsofts of the world started out, right? And it took time to develop into their phases, but we get to be in the beginning, in the seats, of a market disruptor. And so, I mean, I didn't jump up and down, but I'm trying to be composed. So, don't sleep on it. And, you know, we're about to go into training today, but so before I go into training, there's a few things that Mr. Bean wants me to touch up on, you know, for this for today and this coming up week. So this is the last day of the month. So as you know, make sure you're getting with your teams, helping them get qualified on their subscriptions. You don't want to miss out, you know, on being active for everything that's coming, because there's still a lot more coming down the pipeline too, right? Besides that, and then make sure you're qualified for the ranks as well, right? And we had a great turnout, as Sabrina was saying. We had 20 plus guests, right, Sabrina, for our mixer. And so it's time to do three-ways and lifelines and get, you know, move everyone through the process. And so Mr. Bean, he's been in boot camp. So if you need to reach out to him, he'll be ready after 6 p.m. today for any lifelines and three-ways that you need. And for everyone too, because if you're selling those boxes, you're gonna need those lifelines, right? From our VP himself. If you know, so book his calendar if you have his calendar. And on our next event, we have June 28th for Atlanta. Ooh, who's in for our Atlanta people? June 28th is for Atlanta. So, and then for us in Houston, Sabrina, do you have when our next event will be?
Actually, yes, it is. Give me 1 second. My computer decided to move really slow. It is June 24th.
All right. So mark it on your calendars for those who can make it to the Houston for June 24th, and Atlanta will be June 28th. So if you have any people in those markets, this is a good time to reach out to them, have them come to the event, you know, with all our new, and by the time they get to the event, I'm pretty sure there will be new products launching at that time too. So so make sure that that you have it on the calendars. And remember, Mr. Bean is looking for more markets to open up. So if you have a market and you want to, you know, have open that up for Mr. Bean, go ahead and reach out to him, you know, and give him a, you know, talk to him about how to qualify for your market to be on the list and having these, because I'm telling you right now, when you have an event, you know, every single month going on, the more events that you have, the more your market will grow, right? And we've been seeing the Houston market each and every time each event is just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So we want it through all of the markets, man. Let's get all states if we can, and international. So hey, for those internationals as well, right? You have the option of doing it, of starting that too, right? So get with Mr. Bean if you want your market to be next. So now let's go ahead and get into the training. Let me go ahead and share the screen for today. So what we're going to talk to today, because we have people that are coming in, we have new people that are on the call. So first of all, let me know if my screen is sharing yet.
It's spinning.
Yeah, it's spinning on my side. So,
I know you can't wait to get that Zeta.
oh, yes. Everybody that tells me about internet connection, I'm like, you need a Zeta. I keep on hearing people complain about internet. And that's the main thing, is that a lot of people are complaining about internet and Wi-Fi. So you kind of can just scoop in and see. Okay, so it's still something is going on. Ooh, here goes that violent opposition, huh? Somebody needs this training today.
Yeah, you're gonna have to stop it and try it again.
Yeah, that's what I just did. Gotta pull the
There you
old.
go. It's up now.
Okay, you got it. I had to pull the old task manager, Control Alt Delete, right? You learned in school and get it to work. All right. So what we're gonna go on with all the new people, of course, you know, we want to do the 6 steps. You know, Miss Laura Johnson did a great training on the 6 steps, right? So here is the playbook that goes with that 6 steps training. So you want your, if you're a new person, you want to make sure that you have this. Go ahead and reach out to whoever your senior business partner is. If you don't have it already, so that you can get this downloadable one and you can fill it out, right? You can, you know, either print it out and fill it out, or there's a fillable form too. So check with your senior business partner. They should have it. So here it goes along with the 6 steps. So when you start filling this out, the first things that you notice is your personal goals, right? So this is important. Because if you don't have a why, that it's if you don't have a why for your goals, if you don't concentrate and put your whys in front of you, life happens and life likes to strip you of things, right? Because you don't have anything that is tangible. And when you don't put personal goals into something or business goals, something, then life has a tendency to say you're not serious about it, right? So if you're really serious about reaching a goal, then you have to have a personal goal behind it, or else it won't come into fruition, right? So your personal goals. So what are your personal goals, right? You know, you want to, when you're writing goals, you know, and this is what I've noticed throughout the years, because, you know, I write a lot of goals. I don't know if you do, but I wrote a lot of goals. And at first I wrote a lot of goals and it didn't happen. How many times did that happen to you? You wrote goals and you didn't hit it. And so I said, I'm doing something wrong. Why am I not hitting my goals, right? Because there's a process to everything. So then I started saying, okay, so I heard that when you write goals, you should, right, put a time and date on it. And so I said, maybe that's why I'm just writing goals. Because if you just write goals, it's just a wish. So you wish for it to happen. Great. It's a wish, right? How many times do wishes happen? I wish for the lotto all the time. As you can see, I didn't win. No, just kidding. But you know, you want to go ahead and put the time and date on it. So let's say you want to be Builder 500. What is your goal? This is a first-time person, right? What's your goal? So you started right now, your goal should be in 30 days. So Builder 500 by the end or by June 30th. Right? Or if your goal is to buy a house. Number one, you have to be what? You have to be more specific in your goals, right? I had this I had this person. Well, I you know, for those who go to, you know, church, I'm gonna share, right? When I went there, I'm always saying, you know, we always say our prayers, but my pastor said, what you need to do is have specific prayers, because what you don't know is that your prayers are being answered, but when you are being general about it, like for instance, if you're saying, I just want a blessing, well, you tripped over a rock, but you didn't stub your toe. That's a blessing. So if you pray for a blessing, there's your blessing. And I said, oh my gosh, maybe that's why I'm not getting what I'm praying for. Maybe I need to be more specific, right? So you're right. I get blessings all the time, like, ooh, that car almost hit me. It's a blessing that it didn't hit me, right? So let me be more specific about my blessings. So same thing with your personal goals. Be more specific. I want a $500,000 house in June 2026. You can't get more specific than that, right? So that's the same thing. When you do your goals, you need to be specific. You need to have a dollar amount and you need a date. Because sometimes, remember, goals don't happen in the specific date, but what you do is you don't change the goal, you change the date. So if you didn't hit Builder 500 like you thought you were going to in your 30 days, now you move the date. That's it, but don't change the goal and don't change the dollar amount, right? So, maybe you wanted $1 million. Is it bad that you didn't hit it in 6 months, but you hit it in 12? If you didn't change the goal? Not bad, right? So same thing, make your goals. And then for business goals, same thing. So you want to keep your personal goals different and your business goals different, right? So personal goals like buying a house, retiring your mom, leaving legacy for your children, whatever it is, right? Or making sure that I have this amount in the checking or in accounts for my children, right? Because I'm a single mom of 3. That's my goal. My goal is I want to leave a legacy for my children. So I want to make sure that they have something in place for each and every single one of them, right? And so those are my goals, and there has to be monetary numbers with it and a date for when I'm going to make that happen, right? So business goals, same thing. Like I said, when do you want to when do you want to become builder 500? When do you want to be builder? My goal, your goals is whatever you want to hit and put a time frame on it. Do you want that $250,000? When do you want to reach that $250,000 goal? Right? By, and then you'll be able to reverse and see how much effort and how much time, energy, and resources you need to put in place to make that happen in that amount of time, right? And that's what you'll be able to get with your senior business partner to create that blueprint after you write down your business and personal goals. And then now here are the momentum checkouts. I'm going to go through the fast start names first, right? So you want to we want to grow a big list, right? And so some people, they shy away from lists. I shied away from lists in the very beginning as well. Like, why do I need to write a list? Well, because you're going to forget people, right? You're going to forget who you didn't reach out to because you didn't build that list, right? And someone in your market or outside of your market could unintentionally be prospecting your person without you realizing it because, oh, I forgot to put that person on my list. Has happened to me, right? Firsthand. So you want to build as big of a list as you want, as you can. Everybody in your list should know what you're doing. But we want to get on the 4x4 roadmap. You want to do your fast 20. So fast 20 means that, that 20 people who like, love, trust you enough to where if they were given, they were shown an overview of the business that they would get started. Everybody has a fast 20, right? Those are who are close with you, your favorites that are on your phone that are called all the time. But you want to make sure you have a fast 20 list that you can now connect with right away. And then also be building that 100 to 200 list as well on the side. But we want to work quickly, right? Because we need to get through your fast 20 so that we can get you some income coming in within your first 30 days, right? So here are some of the momentum checkpoints that you want to have. So when you get your builder pack or higher, of course, that's a check, right? If you got started, that's a check. Then you want to have a lifeline. You need to have a lifeline with somebody outside of just your senior business partner, right? So you want to get that set up from your senior partner on a lifeline. Check with that. Then, of course, watch the 6 Steps to 6 Figures. Mr. Bean has a phenomenal millionaire mentorship call on this, and Miss Laura Johnson did a great call on Crash Camp as well. So those are 2 that you can take a look at. And if you're not in the wealth creation group, go ahead and reach out to your senior business partner and have them invite you. Make sure you answer those questions though that are there, because a lot of times people are not answering those questions and they're not getting qualified or let in because of that. So you don't want to lose out. So make sure you're answering the questions and make sure your senior business partner invites you into that group, because that's where all the information, all the lives are, so that you can go back if you missed it and look at it again. Now, this is huge and this is key, right? The plug into the system, right? Events, right? You can check that when you're plugging into the system events. We have a calendar that's in your back office that you can take a look for all the different events that we have for Build. And then for our Foresight family, we have our crash camps on Saturday mornings from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. right? And then we have, other Mr. Bean will give us leadership events and other calls that he does. He either collaborations call, and just be on the lookout, be added into our WhatsApp groups so that you're plugged in, right? Plugging in is very important. And for those who have teams, plugging in is amazing. I'm telling you right now, as your team grows, it's better that you plug them into the system so that you're not always being the one to motivate them. Because sometimes it takes a whole village, right? And it takes them being plugged in to where I've had people who stayed plugged in, but they didn't do anything. And all of a sudden, like, something popped up into the feed and they're like, hey, Angel, tell me more about this, right? Because there's a lot of times people are incubating, but something catches their attention because they're plugged in. Now they have come back, right, into working the business or being more motivated because they have something that they like or they love, right? Now, complete the 4x16 build out. We're going to talk about that. You can put a check when you complete it, right? Because this is completing it. And then registering for the next event, booking your 4 showcases or Zooms. This is all in the 6 Steps to Success. So make sure you're watching that video and going through to your senior business partner to sit down and go through them together, right? Complete your certifications in your back office. Watch the 30-day Danny Pesci videos, and you can check mark that off. Month at a glance calendar. If you purchase one, right, you can check that off, because in this business you're gonna need a calendar. And it's one thing to, have a Google Calendar and doing everything online, but it's another thing for you to actually write things down, write volume down. Writing actually makes you when you write something, it goes into your memory, right? When you glance at something, your subconscious will forget. It's not going into your I don't want to get technical, but we have a doctor online. You can ask her. uh but it remains in your mind a lot longer than it does at the counter in when you're not writing things down, right? So you definitely want that month at a glance calendar. Mr. Bean has one. I have one. I live vicariously through my calendar. I can't live without it. Once I got started, because it's helped me really break down my week. And so get 4 and pay no more, right? So your goal in your first 30 days is to get 4 and pay no more, because who wants to pay something when you can get it for free, right? So you want to hurry up and get this done in your first 30 days. If not, I say in your first week, if not 30 days, right? And then get 3 utility bills as well in your first 30 days. And then sell 3 Alka 75s, right? So when you do that, you can also check that off. And then, of course, be a product of our products, right? So we have so many products that you can choose from, either the travel, the smart money, the rewards, alkaline, you name it, choose a product and test it out, right? Because that's the way that you'll be able to share more by being a product of the product, right? And they're gonna say, well, what do you use? You know, so it's kind of like I went to a donut shop when I was doing coffee, and I asked the owner there, like, do you eat your donuts? And she said, no. We don't eat our donuts. And I was like, right? It didn't set right with me when they said, and I'm gonna tell you, 9 out of 10 of those donut shop owners do not eat their donuts. I asked all of them, and they do not eat their donuts. So that's why they give them out for free when there's leftovers, right? To charity and stuff. But I was like, they don't eat their donuts, right? And so I was like, that doesn't make me want to eat your donuts either. So, you know, you want to be a product of a product, right? And then what you also want to do is fill out your 4x4, right? And, you know, on the 4x4, this is what your Builder 500 should look like, right? You can do this in your first 30 days, right? Because remember, when you're getting your refer 4, right? You're coming in, you're getting your refer 4. See, and you have it here. So team 1 and team 2. So when you come in, you're going to put your first person right here, right? On team 1. And then your second person will come in on team 2. Now, your third person will now come on team 1 again underneath this first
Excuse me for
person.
interrupting, Angel. You did not switch to the page where the team 1 and team 2 are. It didn't
Oops.
flip.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Appreciate that. Let me go ahead and share again. There we go. Now everyone's like, huh? What is she talking about? Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Ms. Carla. Okay, here we go. Now you can see better. So team 1, as you can see, this is how you build out your 500 Builder 500 in your first 30 days, right? So out of your Fast 20, right? Or the goal out of your Fast 20 is to get your first 4 refer 4, pay no more, so that you no longer have to put any more money into your business, right? So the first 199 was that's it. That's all that you put. Now, Builder 500 is where we get our ROI back. I'm a big person, and whatever business I do, I better get my ROI back as soon as possible, right? And I put it to 30 days. I need, in every single company that I started, my ROI needs to get back in my bank account in 30 days. And this is how you do it, right? You put the first person out of your Fast 20 list. You and your senior business partner should be working together to do lifelines 3 ways and getting onto these calls and sending out videos so that we can now get your refer 4. So we will put the first person on the left, second person on team 2, right? And third person will go on team 1 underneath that first person. And then the last 4 will, you know, not last, but the fourth one will be on right here underneath on team 2, right? Once we get your 4 refer pay no more, now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, let's say that this is Miss Laura Johnson, right? Just pick the name that I saw right there. So Miss Laura Johnson went here, right? She was my first person. She made a quick decision, right? And then, you know, Dell was not too far behind over here, right? So Dell comes over here. And then I have, you know, Dr. Arlene right here, under Miss Laura Johnson, right? And then I have Victor. I see Victor. So Victor right here. right? So we have Miss Laura Johnson, Dale, Dr. Arlene, and Victor, right? And so now I already have my refer 4, pay no more. I don't have any more fees, so great. Now I need to get my ROI. So we're gonna help Miss Laura Johnson get her 4, right? Because she doesn't want to pay. We need to get her 4. And then we have to get Dale his 4. And then we get Dr. Arlene her 4. Just her family is already done. She's probably done in one day. Anyway. The Geo team. I hope they're on here. You guys rock. But you know, she might fill out faster than the rest, you know. But that's how it works, right? You're gonna help everyone get their 4 so that they pay no more. So when a person gets started, number 1, you don't want them to have any fees. So the first 30 days, you want to make sure they get their 4, and then you return on investments, right? Return on investments is key because you want to make sure that they get their return on investment because, to be honest, the first 30 days, you have to build your story because everyone coming in is going to ask you, well, how are you doing? And you want to say, yeah, my first 30 days, I got refer 4, pay no more. If you can do it in 1 week, that would be a better story. Oh, I already did it. Because those people who already did it, those people coming in are like, oh, if she did it, I can do it. So if you're going past the 30 days, now you're also having people wait longer. Some people need to wait. Because how many of you have friends and family or people who know you and colleagues said, I'll wait till I'll see Dr. Arlene do something. I'll wait till I'll see if Laura does something, right? And so you want to hurry up and create that success as soon as you get in, because it's not for you, it's for your team that's coming in. The bigger the team, the faster you need to get there because they're watching you. You are the leader. So the speed of the leader is the speed of the team, right? So when you get in there, you want to be the example that everyone will follow you. Because if you want big players and people who make decisions and run and walk, they don't want to do it with some, they look for other leaders. They look for other people who are making things happen, right? So that's who you're going to attract with your speed. So you want to be the speed and you want to help your team come in with speed as well, because now they are the reason for their markets, for the people who are wanting to link with them, right? It's great for you to be like, yeah, you know, man, Dr. Lean, like she came in and she got referred 4 in 1 day. Like you're gonna lose out if you're not part of her team right now. Right? So it's to help your team and your people grow even faster. So do you guys have any questions on anything with the builder before I go? I see I thought I saw a sighting of our fearless leader. Is he here? I have my screen open. So Mr. Bean, are you here? Was it me?
I saw him leave. So
Oh, okay.
mhm.
Okay. Anybody have any questions with the 4x4? All right. So no questions. All right. Let me see if I got any. Sometimes I get text messages. So make sure I check that before we get off. So since no one, let me go ahead and stop share. Oh, I see something. All right, Dell's like, let's go. Yes, sir. Well, so, and that's how simple it is. That's what I love about the playbook that Mr. Bean has put together. It's very simple. And remember, when you finish out that playbook and you finish that playbook in the first 30 days, not only are you helping them win by them making money by, on the recruiting and the residuals, but remember you can go into our back office and look at the fast start bonus as well. So the company has given fast start bonuses in order for your new person to come in and make that return on investment right away. So it's our responsibility as leaders, or bringing in just one person, that we're allowing them to be plugged into the system and making sure that they are doing their 30 their 4x4 in 30 days, right? Because what I tell my people is, I don't know about how everyone operates in their business, but my goal is to get you make sure that you don't pay any more money out of your first investment, and make sure to get your ROI back. And I may be I have to be a coach, and so I may have to be on the phone call with you. I may have to reach out to you because I'm like, hey, we need to get your money back, right? Because I'm invested in you. So you're gonna have to hear from me, unless you're like, whoa, 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 Angel, I'm just gonna incubate for a while. Now, but if you're telling me your dreams and your goals and you want to make your ROI back, after that, you decide what you want to do. But we got to get you to your dreams and goals the way you want to do it, right? So that's why this playbook is so important, and the 6 steps to success is important, because you always want to have that game planning session so that you can know which way they want to go with their business, and you just go according to whatever it is that's to reach their goals. So again, I appreciate you all for jumping on this call. And I appreciate Mr. and Mrs. Bean for allowing us to have this platform, because, I don't know about you, but I've been in a lot of companies where there is no community. Once you sign up, they're done with you. You figure it out on your own. You figure your scripts. You're on your own, right? And here, not only does Mr. and Mrs. Bean, and then I've been in what do you call it? Dictatorships too, where it's like you listen to me and nobody else. So I've got it all, guys. So that's why I'm a little bit more, compassionate with people, because I've been to all of those. And the home is here with Mr. and Mrs. Bean. They have not only they are 360-degree leaders. If you haven't read the book, read the book, do the audio, because they're a rare sighting. 360 degrees leaders are a rare sighting, and we have the privilege of, not only doing business together, but doing life together with our 360-degree leaders, and allowing people to come in and understand what it's like to be part of this community, because you guys are awesome. It doesn't work without you all. And so thank you for bringing each and every single one of your talent. And I hope you go out there on this last day and make it rain, like Mrs. Bean say, right? With Build. I love you all, and see you guys at the top. Bye. Bye for now.
Thank you, Angel.